Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pablo, your personal image and style consultant from Style Systems. And today I'm very excited to present to you guys my friend, my ally, and one of the best, if not the best, realtor in California, in the Los Angeles area. And he's a very successful guy, he's an entrepreneur. And I'm gonna do an interview to him so you guys can see how the power of image has impacted on his life. So I want to welcome Bryan Casella.
Pablo, thanks for
How
having
are
me,
you,
man.
man?
Of course, man.
Good.
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad to do an interview with you.
Cool, man.
So I want you to explain a little bit for the guys how much has image impacted your life.
Great question. I believe that image is everything. When you present yourself to somebody, when you first meet somebody, the car that you drive, the clothes that you wear, the way you're put together, everything is very important, and it gives the world a snapshot of who you are. And we all know that people, their first impression of you within the first 1, 2, or 3 seconds, they're going to brand that on you, right? So what is your first impression to the world, whether it's your car or your clothes? Is it powerful? Is it seductive? Is it successful? Or is it average? And I think if I could sum it up in a couple words, it would be image is everything, for sure.
There you go. Yeah, you see it, man. I mean, he's a very successful guy. That brings me another question. So, would you say that image has has influenced your business? In your career. Would you say that it's like an important part of the realtor business?
Absolutely. That is one of the ways I separate myself from everybody else. I have a very sharp, powerful image. I do a lot of door-to-door sales, and I do a lot of presentations with clients. And one of the biggest factors for me that differentiates me from everybody else is the fact that I'm dressed so sharp. Colors, sharp suit, fresh, straight from the dry cleaners. Everything is crisp, iron, looks good, because that is a part of my brand. My brand is professional, powerful, and that's what we represent. And when you meet with somebody or they meet you, if you have that image and you're dressed to the T, you have the car, you have everything, you have the way of speaking, because it goes just beyond the clothes that we wear.
Totally. Yeah.
And everybody can relate watching, and you know this, the quality of clothes you wear, it raises you, it makes you stronger, it makes you more confident. And that, I think, is big, for at least for me and my brand. Absolutely, for everybody, myself and my team, everybody. Whenever we show up, we dress to a 10, perfect 10.
Totally. I'm glad you brought that up because it has an psychological impact on yourself when you wear stuff like this, and people treat you differently. So I'm glad that you're feeling it.
Yeah.
So here's another question outside of yourself. What would you think, or what would you say about the current status of beauty and aesthetics in the world?
Wow, really good question. I think we're at a state right now, we're at a transitionary period. I know back in the history, we admire all the artwork and everything that we saw that was
totally,
beauty,
right?
Statues and all that. We're in a period now where I think people are beginning to realize that again, because it seems like, to me, for a long time, the past couple decades, there hasn't been an emphasis on it, right? That's why we see so many trends going back and forth. But I believe now it's even more important, and it's coming back. The frame and the image of the powerful businessman. Of the yoga guy, whatever it is, whatever category we're looking at, that image of what, when you say businessman, boom, that image that comes in your mind, the guy in a suit with the tie, dressed sharp. That now is coming. I think people are appreciating that more now than they were 10, 15, or 20 years ago. And there's more respect, and that person is seen as more successful and wealthy and in more of a positive light now than maybe in the past.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah.
I completely relate with what you said. So, a little bit of your story, man. Have you always dressed this way?
No, it's funny. A lot of the people watching who don't know me, I connected with Pablo, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
on
something like that.
On Facebook, and I had always had an interest in fashion, and I did my best with what I could, putting stuff together. But once I started, reading some of his material and talking to him, it really helped me step my game up, and I started really putting everything together. It would be like, you go from being a 7 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, totally.
It just makes you better, because he gave me a lot of suggestions as far as colors, what colors work with me and my skin tone, little details which separate you from everybody else. Because you could have two guys in a suit, but it's the details that make one guy look much better than the other. You know, and that's really through connecting with Pablo. That is what really has helped me elevate my fashion, because before I was an athlete, I never wore a suit, you know, and now I am applauded and I'm asked if I have, you know, a consultant or somebody helping me to get dressed because of what he's taught me. So I definitely have stepped my game up, and the results have been incredible. You know, just first impression when you meet somebody, the respect and admiration I get from my clients and friends and allies, it's just it's night and day different from before I dress good to now. It's completely different.
It's a completely different perception of you, right? That's amazing, man. I feel a little bit proud right now. So that brings me to another question, man. The perception.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on perception? When I say the manipulation of perception, or just the word perception, what comes to your mind?
Right. Well, to me, it's the person observing you. You know? We could, and you know, we could get a guy who's average, but dress him up, man, to make him look like the most powerful businessman in the world. Yeah. And if he speaks and carries himself in that manner, people are going to assume that he's that person. So we live in a day and age where I believe, like I said earlier, image is everything. If you have the right image, it's going to help you. And on the flip side, if you are the man in that genre, let's say in business, but you don't have the right image, it's going to hurt you. Right? Totally. So everybody's perception of you is everything. So you have to represent what you are in your brand and that powerful image, or whatever image you want to put across. You need to embody that and represent it properly, or else it's going to hold you back.
Yes, that's completely. It's completely true, man. I hope that the guys out there that are watching this video, I know that you're relating to this, and I want to finish this interview. I want to ask our friend here, Bryan, what advice would you give the business person? Because I know that you're a very successful entrepreneur. I know everyone knows your car. You know, it's a part of your brand, and the colors that you wear. So for a man or a woman that is starting, you know, his own business, her business, you know, a fresh entrepreneur that wants to step his game up, you know, any advice on image or, you know, perception as a businessman?
Well, two things. One, I'm gonna basically give you the tip and the advice that you have to at least become aware of it and begin the journey of doing your own research and then figuring out, hey, okay, I'm going to be a businessman, I'm going to be a yoga guy, whatever you're going to be, and say, okay, I need to embody that image and embrace it, do some research and figure out what that image is, and then strive to be it. Number two, for any successful person, you have multiple coaches and consultants. So my second piece of advice would be to hire somebody like Pablo to really help you buy their products, buy their services, and learn from them, because they put in their time and they're an expert in their field. So instead of you doing thousands of hours of work, you hire Pablo, and in an hour or two, boom, you have the change. So not only do you need to educate yourself, but you need to align yourself with somebody like this to really take it to the next level, because anybody, actors, athletes, doctors, lawyers, anybody out there who's a professional at a high level has a coach, has multiple coaches and consultants to really help them get to the top.
Totally. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for being me. This is interview, and you know, where can we follow you?
You can find me on Facebook. I'm one of his friends. YouTube, just look at my name, Bryan Casella. We'll put it in the description of the video. I'm happy to help you guys with business, any tips for building wealth or whatever. But if you need any help with image or style, this is your guy, for sure.
Yeah, well, you already know it, and follow this guy. He's a monster when it comes to business. So we'll see you in another interview, man. So become the best version of yourself.
Cool. See you guys.